Hey guys, it's Mike from Menu Development, and we're going to look at adding a menu to our tutorial here for Tic Tac Toe Game. And on that menu, we're going to look at putting a Start New Game so we can start a new game, and an Exit button so we can exit our app. Another thing that we're going to look at is how to put icons on your menu buttons, and we'll actually use some already made icons that come with the SDK. I'll show you how to find those, and you can get the names from, and we'll plug them in and show you how to do that. Also, as you see here, this is what we got so far, and you see he won, so incremented, but we have no way to start. Our menu button doesn't do anything, and on each device, it's in a different location, but they all have the menu button where they can bring a menu up. One way we can start again now is to actually exit our application altogether, go back in, and of course this doesn't test our logic, see if it would actually let the Android go first the next time or anything like that. So we'll get that going this round. And also, if you notice, we're using just a default Android icon that comes already set up, which we want to change that and make our application a little bit more unique. So let's go ahead and we'll do that first. I'll show you how to do this. So if we look in a Tic-Tac-Toe tutorial, let's go down to our manifest file. Now if you look in the resources here, in the drawable, there's got the IC launcher. Now these here are dependent on like the screens and the device you're using, the different resolutions. We're just going to go ahead and drop one in this one here. I've already made an icon, so we'll just I'll have this available that you can download or you can make your own. So just click and drag this over, drop it on the drawable HDPI there, and click make sure it's copy files. So now we got this in there. So it's really simple. Inside of our manifest file, right here where the icon is. This is going to come in later as well, so you can put icons on your menu items. So IC underscore for icon, Tic Tac Toe, which is what we have right here. So let's go ahead and save that. And we don't need the manifest open anymore. So let's go ahead and run it now. Installing it. And you can already see it right there, but I'll go ahead and back out. Now we have a new icon. So that's really simple, really easy, and it's one of those things that you pretty much want to do for all your applications. Give the user a little idea of maybe what it's about. If it's a game, you can put your main character on there, something like that. Just something catchy, because this is what they're going to see, and sometimes it helps actually get you some traffic on downloading your app. So now we can open this, and of course we need to add our menu in. Let's go ahead and we'll get started on our menu. Let's look at the parts that we'll need to cover. First thing is, each of our menus are going to have words on them, so we need to make a string to hold the labels for each of our menu buttons. So let's go ahead and go into our values, wherever your strings are being held. If you follow along with the tutorial, we held them in the strings.xml here, but whatever you've got. And if yours comes in the resources view, if you're comfortable with adding stuff that way, you can, but we're going to go into the XML view here. So let's make a new string, and we'll name it new game underscore label. Inside the string tags here, we will put new game. Now we need one for our exit. So string name equals exit game underscore label, and we'll put exit game. So these are going to be for our menu here. So now what do we need to do? We need to set up our actual menu, and we need to plug that into our activity so that we can call that menu when we click the menu button. So let's go ahead and close out our strings since we got all that. And what you'll need to do is I'll go ahead and delete mine here, and we'll walk through this together. So right click on resources, go to new and folder. Let's call this folder menu, like I already had made for us, but this will, in case y'all don't know how to make the menu folder underneath the resources. Now while we got this right here selected, so right click on the menu folder, new Android XML file. If you do not see it here, click on other, expand out the Android, and you'll find it right there. Now the cool thing is, since we made a menu folder here, it knows that it's going to actually be a menu file. So when you hit next, resource type is menu. Now all we have to do is name it. So we'll name ours game menu. Now the cool thing is you can use a menu for more than one activity, so you don't have to make the same menu over and over. If you're only going to have one, a certain kind of menu for each type, now just remember inside your activity code you can actually set each of the buttons to do different things. So as long as the wording is going to be the same, it'll be fine. So we're only going to have one menu, so we'll name ours game_menu. Click finish, and we'll go over to the XML part. We're going to have two items in there, so let's go ahead and we'll set that up. And what are our items going to need? We're going to need an ID, we're going to need a title, and we're going to need the icon that we're going to use. So let's go ahead and do that. Item. Inside here we're going to need Android ID, and we're going to actually @ plus ID / and we'll call this new game. And let's see, what else are we going to need? The title, I believe, Android title. And we've already made a string for that. I mean, you could put in new game like this, but if you're using this in more than one place, or you need to come back later and just easily update it, you can't just go into your strings file now and simply change this. You actually have to go to each one of these wherever you got them at and change them one by one. So let's not do that. Let's go @string / new game _ label. Now we need to go ahead and get our icon set up. So first things first, we need to figure out, I'm going to show you where you can actually find the icons at. So go ahead and, oops, there we go. Open this up. If you go to wherever you installed the Android SDK, mine's in program files, Android SDK. And here we go to platforms. We're working with a minimum of 10, so we'll go to 10, data, and resources. Inside here you can see all this, but we're just going to look at the drawable -HTTPI, and we're going to go down to the IC_ for icon, and let's see, we need to find one to start a new game. Let's just go with this one here. You can pick any of them that you want, so just copy the name of it, and then once you find yours, just copy the name. Come over here, and we're going to do Android icon, and it's the @ Android drawable / and just paste in whatever one you wanted, and then we'll just copy this whole item here, paste it over, and we'll just come here and we'll name this one exit game, and I think it was exit game label, right? Yeah, exit game label. We don't want to use the same icon for that though, so let's go back to wherever we had it, and let's use this one. Copy, paste that in. So now we have our menu items set up. So now what are we going to have to do? We need to actually call two functions, and what that's going to be is it's going to be excuse me, on create options menu and on item selected. So what we need to do is we need to go into our activity and tell it what menu that we want to pull up, and then whenever they click an item on that menu, what we want it to do. So let's go ahead and close this out. Don't need these anymore right now, so go up to your source code, and we'll go into our tutorial activity file. So if we go down, you see here's our on create. So right after the on create, we'll do this. We'll go ahead, override. Oops. I'm going to return a Boolean value. On create options menu. And so now you see here it's going to have a red under there, so just mouse over that, import it, and then all this right here should turn red because it needs to return a Boolean. So what do we need to do in here? We need to actually get which menu that we want to come up when we hit our menu button. So in order to do that, we need to set up a menu inflator. and we're going to get the menu inflator. Now, you'll see this right here needs to be imported as well. And it's going to tell us we haven't used this yet. Okay, so we need to inflate the menu. Now you see it's going to ask you for the resource, which is going to be the resource ID. As you can see here, it says int menu resource, so it's the resource ID is what we're looking for. So how are we going to get that? When we made our menu, our game menu, we had an ID. So it's going to be r dot menu dot, and if you have more than one menu, they'd all be listed here. But we want game menu. Put a semicolon at the end there. And that's pretty much how you tell it which menu to pull up. So we won't go into any more technical stuff on that one. Now we want to override the on options item selected. Now what that's going to do is it's going to, whatever we click on in that menu, we need to know what to perform for each thing. So what we'll do is it's going to return a boolean as well. Need a menu item. So let's go ahead and import the menu item. Okay, not sure why it's doing that, so try it again. Okay, maybe I misspelled it or something. Anyway, go ahead and import that in, and of course we need to turn true there. So now what we need to do is we need to take the item that's selected, we need to get its ID, and then we need to find out which one that is and perform an action on that. So what we're going to do is we'll set up a switch statement. Now inside the switch statement, we need to take the item that they clicked on, which will be passed right here when they press on it on the screen, and we need to get the ID of that item. So it's item.get item ID. So what that's going to do is whatever menu item they press on, it's going to actually pull up the ID for that. Now we need to match that to an ID. So what we'll do is we'll make a case here, r.id.new game. So if we look on our menu, if this menu item is selected, so new game, what do we want to happen? We want it to start a new game. So let's go ahead and put that in. We'll break out. Now we're going to have two items that we want to deal with on our menu. So the other one would be exit game. Now what do we want to happen when we click the exit game? We want it to pretty much just close out our app. Since our app is only one activity, all we need to do is call finish on this activity and our app will be closed out. So how do we do that? As you can see, we need the name of our class here, which is Tic Tac Toe tutorial activity. So you go ahead and you can copy or you can type it out down here. .this .finish. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. And I'll go ahead and put a break in there to break out of that and return true. Probably don't really need to put a break there since it is the last one in the switch statement. So, but anyway, that right there is going to get that up and running for that. So let's go ahead and give it a try. It's installing it. Okay, it's going to run it for us. So basically, find our icon. We can go ahead and put it on home screen. Click on our icon, start a game. Let's go ahead and place the game here. And Android 1. So now, click on menu, pop up with the icons, whichever ones that you selected. We have new game and exit game. So if we hit new game, click, okay, we should be able to play. So something in our logic is wrong. So let's check out our exit game here. Exit, closes it out. Good to go. Okay, so for some reason it's not letting us start a new game. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, so start a new game. Okay, I'm gonna clear the board, set everything back. Oh, okay, so if you see here, we have M game over equals false, but if there's a winner, that gets set to true. And for whatever reason, I don't have that in here. Just set it back, so save that and cross our fingers, I guess. Let's see here. Alright, so let's go and play this quick game here. It's a tie. Menu, new game. Alright, and Android goes first this time, so now hopefully when we click we can actually play. It's a tie. Now we win. So there you have it, and go to one, new game, you go first. We have a playable game now, we can start a new game and all that. We can also exit out by our menu. And that should do it for this series. If you guys want, you could go to indiedevelopment.co or go to our blogspot and post up maybe what you would like to see next. We can start working on another series. And also, if there's something on here that you may want to customize, I know we had a community question earlier about changing the text color, and we answered that with a video. So something like that, we just whatever you guys would like to see next, maybe go ahead and post up some ideas, and we'll go from there on what series to make next. But I hope you all found this informative, it's easy to follow. I know it took me a while to get this one out, but I've just been real busy, and hopefully I can get started on the next set of videos here soon. But I wish you guys luck in whatever it is that you're doing, and I'll talk to you next time.